Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and a tutorial on the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Foil Finger Paints palette. So I picked up this palette at Sephora about a week ago and I posted a poll on Insta Stories asking you guys whether you wanted me to do a review and swatches or a tutorial, or if you wanted both, to let me know. So a lot of you voted for tutorial and both, so I went ahead and decided to just put those together. So I haven't used it yet. I planned to use it before I did this tutorial and just a review instead of a tutorial, but I ended up doing a first impression and a tutorial today. So this is what it kind of comes in. It comes in the traditional Rainforest of the Sea Tarte Cosmetics packaging, and then on the inside it comes in packaging like this. How beautiful is that? It is so pretty. Tarte always comes through with their packaging, honestly. Tarte's coming out with so much lately. I'm so excited for all the stuff that they're releasing, and they're literally on top of my list right now. I love all their products. I've been using their foundation for years, and I'm so excited to use the new Shape Tape foundation that I definitely plan on getting my hands on. So when you open the packaging, it looks like this. I already touched it, so it looks like that, and I kind of got that dirty with shadow, but let me see if I can take that off. That looks gross. These are like the three main shades in the palette, and then these are kind of like toppers. They're more sparkly and they just add a little bit more sparkle to whatever shadow you're using. This is Gold Coast, Sailor's Delight, and Sea Glass. I'm going to show you guys some quick swatches. So I'm going to go in with Gold Coast, which is this gold champagne-y color right here. And you don't even need to touch it that much, and it already has like this super pigmentation going on. So that was just one swipe, okay? One swipe. You guys can see that. And this is Sailor's Delight. Ooh. The shade that really made me buy this palette was Sailor's Delight. I kept swatching it and swatching it. Look at this pigmentation, you guys. It is insane, which is why it's called the foil finger palettes, because you only really get this pigmentation with your fingers. And then this is, this third shade is Sea Glass. That's what I'm wearing on my crease right now. That's Sea Glass right here. Look at that. That pigmentation. You can't really see the first lighter iridescent shade too much because it's just like really light. It's more of like an iridescent kind of shade. So those are the two shades. This is like more of the iridescent kind of sparkle. You can see what I mean when I say that they're kind of just like toppers, because you can just like pat them onto the lid. I'm wearing this iridescent one right now on my lid on top of Sailor's Delight. This is the other shade. It's more like a silver gray toned shade in the two pan little shadow. So that's these two right here. So yeah, those were the swatches of that. Not super thorough swatches, but I at least wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how they swatch. So this palette is only supposed to be used with your fingers only. That's why it's called the foil finger paints. Some people use them with brushes, some people don't. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys both so you can see how it looks. And then I'm gonna try and find a way to make it work. So I'll do one eye with using my finger, and I'll do one eye with using brushes, just so you guys can see the difference. I do want to, help you guys find the best way for you to use it, a way that you're comfortable with. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it, and then from there you can go ahead and decide what's best for you. So if you would like to know how I got this look and my impression of this palette, please keep watching. So once again, I did my foundation and everything off camera. I used my Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation in the shade Tan Sand. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in 6.0, I believe. And I topped it off with some Anastasia Beverly Hills powder contour kit on top to set that. And I did my eyebrows with Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, also in dark brown. And I did some Tarte Cosmetics 12-Hour Amazonian Clay Blush in Party. So here's the lovely palette. It's kind of nice. It actually comes with like a little guide. It comes with a few like guides for different looks. I'm actually gonna try one of them. I'm gonna follow one of these just to see how it comes out. Now, these aren't really supposed to be used with brushes, so I can show you guys the difference with the brush. I'm gonna be using this MAC 248 brush, and the other side I'll do with my finger, and then we'll see which one looks better. I haven't used this at all. Like, I've never used it. This is my first time trying it. So basically, this is my first impression with you guys as well as a tutorial. I'm gonna go ahead and follow this guide that it came with. I'm gonna do this one called the Siren's Song. Okay, so put sea glass into the crease, apply Sailor's Delight all over the lid. So let's go ahead and try that. So it first says to blend sea glass into the crease. So this is sea glass right here. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna have some difficulty because my nails are crazy long. The downfall to that is this finger foil palette is gonna give me a hard time. So let's see how well I can do it with these nails. So first we're gonna apply sea glass onto the crease. Whoa, that's like just a little bit, you guys. I like barely tapped on to the shadow and it already looks very pigmented. So let's go ahead and put that onto the crease. And it comes with a little mirror too, so it's actually kind of nice. You really don't need like a huge mirror. Oh god, I thought it was gonna be messy. Is that like a crease? I mean, I guess. I'm actually gonna take a brush just to like blend it out. It actually blends out a little bit. Doesn't really touch, like, doesn't pick up on the brush too much, but it does still blend it out. Ooh, very sparkly. So this brush actually blends it out pretty well. And then, so since I just blended this out, but I applied it with my finger, I'm gonna go ahead and do this side with just the brush, and we'll see how that one picks up. So I'm like patting it onto the shadow, but it's not like really picking up. Let's see how much it actually picked up. Oh yeah. Definitely a difference. It's not as pigmented. It didn't really pick up the shadow like too much. I don't know if you guys can see the difference there. And as far as sparkle, it's all there. I think it depends on the type of brush that you use, to be honest. This one seems to be picking it up okay, but not as much as it did when I used my finger. This is with the finger and a little bit of blending after with a brush, and this is just with a brush, no finger. All the pigment comes out when you use your fingers. Obviously, this would be a lot easier if I had shorter nails, so keep that in mind. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back in with my finger on this eye that we just used as a brush, so we can see maybe like a little bit of a difference when I use, whoa, I can't believe like how pigmented it looks, like with just like the lightest touch. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into it with my finger. You guys can see, it adds so much more pigment. Wow. I'm gonna blend it out again with this brush. So now it says apply Sailor's Delight all over the lid. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use this finger for that. So this is Sailor's Delight right here. So let's go ahead and do that Once again, I'm gonna do this eye with the finger and this eye with the brush. Whoa. This pigmentation is honestly insane. Dragging it up into the crease a little bit so that I can blend it out with sea glass. So I'm actually doing here is I'm packing it heavier near the lash line, and as I go up, I'm kind of packing it in lighter. I'm pressing a little lighter at the top and a little heavier on the bottom because I want to make that smooth transition into the crease. And that's where I'm going to blend it out right now. I'm going to go back in with this MAC 248 brush, and I'm going to pat it out onto the lid a little bit more. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and just use the brush without the finger. So let's see if this brush picks it up. Okay, this brush does seem to be picking it up. Not as much as my finger, but it's still picking it up pretty well. So let's see how this one does. Okay. It picks it up, just not as much. It does work with the brush. You're not supposed to, but if you feel the need, if you're just a person that has to use brushes, I'm kind of that person, then this does work. You just have to use the right brushes. So that is it without the finger. I'm gonna go ahead and blend in the crease a little bit here. So far I'm really liking this palette. Brushes or not, this pigmentation, these colors are really looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and with my finger on this eye and apply more with my finger on top of this lid and see if it makes any difference. I think I'm gonna do that technique where I pat it heavier on the bottom and bring it up. Definitely added some more color there. The next step is to pat the lighter shade of Stargazer all over the lid. So I'm actually going to take this lighter, more iridescent one, and I'm going to pop that onto the lid. Once again, this one with the finger, this one with the brush. Definitely add some sparkle. Wow. I thought this looked good already, but this sparkle just added so much more to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side with the brush. I keep falling a little bit more in love with this palette with every shade that I use. I didn't use Gold Coast too much, but I've got plans for Gold Coast. I do. I'm probably going to save this for a different tutorial or a different look that I'm going to do. I really like that gold shade. It's very like a gold champagne-y shade, and those are one of my favorite kinds of shades. So I'm saving it for a different tutorial, but what I am going to do with it today is I'm going to put it into the inner corners of my eye. I really like to do this in my makeup looks because I really feel like it makes my eyes pop. Like I said before, my eyes are kind of small, so I always feel like I need to find different things and different tricks to kind of make them pop and open up a bit. So I feel like whenever I do that into the corners of my eyes, it'll pop immediately. You'll see that a lot in my videos. I'm going to use this brush to go in with Gold Coast into the corners of my eye. And this brush seems to be picking it up pretty well too. There we go. That seemed to pick up pretty well. Whoa, yeah, that definitely pops. I'm sure with my finger it would be a lot more brighter, but I just can't do it with the long nails that I have. A lot of people don't use lashes with this palette, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some on just because I can't live without lashes. I feel like lashes really make a difference in looks. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop some lashes on. I'm going to actually go over the line of the lash with my Kat Von D Trooper. I'm not really creating a line, I'm just going over where the lashes are. To kind of add a little bit more depth and definition to the bottom lash line, I'm actually going to go in with Sailor's Delight and kind of add it to the outer corner of the lash line. Hopefully this brush picks it up. Let's see. Oh, it did pick it up, you guys. So just put that into the corner and kind of blend it up so that it connects to the shadow that we have. And you can bring that out into the lash line a little bit. To add a little bit more definition, I'm going to go in with Sea Glass, and I'm going to add that to the outer corner as well. And I'm just going to keep that there. Now that we're pretty much done with the shadow, I'm going to go ahead and put some L'Oreal Telescopette onto my bottom lashes. Now I'm going to actually use a shade in this palette for highlight. I have a little bit of highlight already on my nose, but I really want to see how this looks as a highlighter. So I'm going to take Gold Coast and I'm going to pop it onto the high points of my cheekbones and a little bit on my nose and here on my lip. So let's see, just a little bit, not too much because of the pigmentation that it has. So once again, I'm taking Gold Coast. Oh my. Yeah, that definitely works. I don't want to do too much because the eyes are pretty shimmery already. And I definitely wanted to use my finger with this instead of a brush just to give it that real pigmentation. That looks so good. So kind of like the Carly Bible palette, this can be used in different ways. I think this is definitely a palette I'm going to continue to use a lot. Dang, okay, Tarte. Look at that, guys. Now that that's all done, I'm going to go ahead and do my lips. So I just got this MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick and it's called Choco Tease. I'm going to go ahead and pop this on. Before I do that, I'm going to line my lips. Okay, so this is pretty much the result. I really like this palette. That is my honest review and impression of it. Found that I was really able to use it in combination with both my fingers and brushes and it worked out perfectly. But you definitely will not get the same pigmentation that you would get if you would use your finger. I showed you guys both with using my finger and using a brush and they both came out just as well. If you want to use just your fingers, go ahead. It probably would have way better pigmentation than with a brush. And if you want to use combination, I found that to be easiest for me. All the colors that I used on my eye are from this palette. There's nothing from any other palette. All shadows were used from this Tarte Finger Foil palette. You definitely could use it in combination with other palettes, which I do plan on doing with other looks. But for the purposes of this review and this impression, I used all shadows from this palette, which came out beautiful. I really loved it. I also used it as a highlighter, and I mean, look at that highlight, guys. they came out so good. Also, something that I didn't use in this video that I ended up really loving was the MAC Cosmetics Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick. I've never tried this formula before and I'm loving it right now. But other than that, this was basically the look. I really loved how it came out and I hope you guys liked it. I hope this was helpful. I tried to show you guys the different way that the palette could be used so that you could find the best fit for you. I hope you guys really liked it. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful and what other content you want to see. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Thank you.